So recently I was involved in this recording of a 21st century teaching, so that gives me the opportunity um, to plan lessons using YouTube videos and applications from the internet like Kahoot, as well as Padlet, as well as Google Documents. So those are the times that I would feel like very blessed to be able to be given such opportunities. Other ways of overcoming my problems with regards to students not wanting to speak, I definitely think that giving them a solid reason to speak would motivate them to do that, such as telling them that, oh, I am assessing you for ULBS, for ujian lisan. That's the reason that you have to use the language, otherwise you won't get enough marks. So we do sometimes use such methods as in a way like persuading or forcing them to use the language so that they can improve their marks. So sometimes I do use that method. Other ways of overcoming the problems that I'm facing right now is to try and tell myself that regardless of what happens, regardless of whether students are willing to speak to me in English or not, I have to respond to them in the target language, because I'm the one who's supposed to be motivating them to use English. So currently what we're doing is I go at very small scale first, like teaching them to do their marching. In our school, marching is a very serious thing taken. So everybody has to march either at the assembly or at when we start our classes. So we, the English panel, we decided that we wanted to do our marching in the English language. So before students start their lessons, they have to march by using instructions like class, attention, at ease, and then 1, 2, 3, rest. Class, attention. So the class monitor has to give instructions in English, and the rest of them have to respond in English as well. Other than that, we are also currently practicing the prayer in the English language. I believe that one is a very successful one for the beginning of a lesson where students recite in English. Recite their prayers in English. So for instance, the person chosen for the recital of the prayer, he has to say in the name of Allah, or for non-Muslims they will say in the name of God, the most generous, the most merciful. So every word will be in the English language, and I do not allow students to just say Amin. No, they cannot do that. Everybody has to use the English language and has to repeat after the leader who recites the prayer. So I will be recording the prayer recital to just demonstrate how we are practicing this English language environment in our school. For now, it is conducted during English lessons, but in future, if we have an English language week, it will be done for each and every lesson. So the jobs of English teachers are to ensure that these students are well versed in terms of their marching as well as their prayer recital. So those are among the things that we have decided to do as a panel. Going back to how I conduct my lessons to overcome some of the challenges of my teaching, is to constantly motivate myself by saying that there is definitely nothing that comes easy. So I definitely have to tell myself that if I don't teach them to love the English language, then they would definitely have problems in future, especially when they're going for interviews, and if they need to use the English language in their working environments. So I do insert some, how do I say this, like motivational talks during my English language teaching, um, with the intention of creating this awareness of how important it is to score for the English paper, um, so that it sparks in their minds that they have to somehow um, put on a little bit more effort in learning and mastering the English language. Perhaps some of the things that we're doing right now is trying to bring an English dictionary per person, so that they can refer to. I've also asked them to use the internet as much as they can, especially when doing their writing. I've taught them how to use the British National Corpus for use of collocations. They want to use the word effort, for example. What they can do is just type the word effort in the British National Corpus, and then it will give them sentences with the word effort used in them, so they can come up with words which fit with the word effort, like put on effort, hard effort, extreme effort, and so on. So those are some of the things that we're doing. So basically I give them the word collocation for them to type and ensure that they can use it in the correct manner. Students do also have problems in using the correct prepositions in their essays. So in terms of grammar, I would definitely say that we should not discard the use of the English language textbook given to us by the government, especially the Form 4 textbook, where we have descriptions of how to use the present perfect tense, past perfect tense. So I definitely go back to grammar teaching, because I think that it is definitely compulsory for them to master the rules behind the grammar items first. Only then they can apply it in their essays. So yeah, I'm definitely doing quite a lot in terms of polishing students' English first before they apply it either in their speaking or in their writing. I've definitely got a lot of other methods which I would like to share. Like last year, we had this school support program where I presented at the PPD, or District Education Department, about how the English teachers in my school are conducting that program in order to ensure that students can lessen their errors in their writing. So I go back to the conventional methods of correcting students' errors and then numbering those errors, and then they would go back to correcting them, and we have discussions of why each item should be changed in terms of their structure or in terms of the grammar items. For example, we have problems with subject-verb agreement, like students do not know, let's say they have this sentence, everybody has to do the job, or everybody have to do the job. They have confusions regarding whether everybody is a singular or a plural item. So once I number those sort of errors, we do our discussions very in detail, so that students understand that words like everyone or everybody would be singular, and they have to use a singular verb, has, after words like that. So I focus a lot on subject-verb agreement, use of prepositions. Omissions happen quite a lot as well, like students miss out words in their essays, which I have told them numerous times that that would be considered a serious error at the SPM level. So we do a lot of discussions regarding writing in our classes, but the practical method would be to number the errors and do a classroom discussion regarding the sort of corrections that we need to make. So it does become very effective when I allow students to do the correcting themselves. Like once I number the errors, they have to come in front and try to correct. Even if they don't get the correct answers, that is definitely not a hindrance for them to feel like, oh, they should stop learning the grammar item because it's important. So I would definitely always try to motivate them, and sometimes I do try to give them, I'm starting this year actually, try to give them tokens of appreciation, like a highlighter or a pen, so that once they get the correct answers, they know that, you know, they feel appreciated, and they will try harder to get all of the error corrections done well. So I believe that I have shared quite a lot already there. I do hope that all the methods that I'm doing right now, what I'm hoping for is that they are on the right track, and I'm so keen on learning what my SPM candidates last year are going to receive for their SPM English 1119 paper, because you know, sometimes when we put on effort, we really want to know whether they are effective or not. So I'm gonna patiently wait for the SPM results, and hopefully I can learn more from other teachers as well, which is why I'm very I feel like I try to support this Idomnia project quite a lot, because when I share something, I do hope that I would be able to have access to this vast amount of materials that other teachers are sharing. So it's a very win-win situation for me. So thank you so much for creating Idomnia, and hopefully we could collaborate more in future. Okay, thank you.